Robin, and welcome to the first ever episode of Film Talk on my channel, RobzarrGoesRawr. Now, this is going to be very similar to TV Talk, except it's going to be about films instead. Didn't get it by the name. And today we're going to be talking about Batman vs Superman. Now, as you guys probably know, I'm a massive comic book geek. I love them, and I love the films that have come from them so far. Well, most of them anyway. Exceptions being Green Lantern, Catwoman with Halle Berry, and Daredevil. I think they were all awful films. Also, Batman and Robin was pretty shit because of the back card. Why? But Batman vs Superman is set to be the film that puts DC Comics and their films back in their rightful place alongside and above Marvel. Now, in my last topic video, I actually talked about DC versus Marvel film universes, and I said my views on how I think Marvel are going to be on a downfall to DC this year because they've got Batman vs Superman coming out and Suicide Squad coming out, and I think them two films alone are going to be what puts DC back on the map for films. I think Batman vs Superman is going to be incredible, and I'm going to talk a little bit in this video about what the problems that I have personally with how they're doing it, and the things that I'm really looking forward to seeing, because it comes out at the end of this month, and I cannot stress enough how excited I am to see this film. So, Batman vs Superman is obviously a story about two vigilantes, one being the man, Batman, and Superman being the alien that he is. And Superman's going through this trial, and it's good because Zack Snyder, who is the director, has done a lot of nods to the old Superman and old Batman films, which is nice to see. And I read a thing about Zack Snyder the other day, and it was something along the lines of, it was a Facebook post, and it was something along the lines of he respects the past and embraces the future more than people give him credit for, which is, it's very true. I think he's a fantastic director, and I'm really glad that he's working on Suicide Squad as well. He's done some fantastic films, and he actually directed Sucker Punch, which is my favourite film of all time. I love that film. So I'm really excited that Zack Snyder's the one directing what I think will probably be the masterpiece of DC this year. Now, I do have some problems with it, and they stem from the fact that it's called Batman vs Superman, and it's basically Superman's sequel, I guess, because if you think about it, Batman has had his time with the Dark Knight trilogy, he had his time with Tim Burton's trilogy, plus Batman and Robin. Superman, yes, he had the Christopher Reeve series, but I feel like Man of Steel was a brand new starting point for Superman films, and he's only just been established, and now they're throwing in this brand new Batman, which everyone's going to be focused on, and they called it Batman vs Superman, which is what the comics are called, so there's no way around that. But I feel like there should have been a Man of Steel sequel. That being said, I understand why there wasn't, because it's difficult, because they've put Henry Cavill, who was Superman at the same time that Christian Bale was Batman, and brought in this new Batman, which is Ben Affleck, and it's kind of mucked up the timeline a little bit, because there's rumours going around that it's not actually Bruce Wayne. I think it personally, I'm pretty sure it is Bruce Wayne, or that it could be Batman 2 or something like that, but there's rumours that it is still on the same timeline as Christian Bale's Batman. Now, I don't really know how that would work. For me, it feels like another Batman reboot, but that being said, it is an older Batman. It's not Batman's origin story anymore, it's just someone else carrying on Christian Bale's Batman, if that makes sense. And I feel like Superman has just got himself to a place where it's doing really well in cinema. Man of Steel was a fantastic film, again directed by Zack Snyder. It was no, was it directed by Zack Snyder? I think he was involved, but I think actually it was a Christopher Nolan job. I think he was involved somewhere, but actually I think that's Christopher Nolan. I might be wrong about that. But he's like that same Superman actor is now being put into the ring with a brand new Batman, and that's what everyone's going to be focused on, because we all know now that Henry Cavill is excellent at Superman. It took one film for us to figure that out, and we have that one film. You know, he's a fantastic Superman, and we're going to have this brand new Batman thrown in, and that's where everyone's focus is going to be, and I think that's a bit of a shame. So I'm hoping that obviously Zack Snyder realises that and does put as much focus as he can on Superman. Ben Affleck as Batman, I actually am very accepting of Batfleck. I think he's going to be fantastic, and for one, he actually looks like Batman from the comic books, which is rare because all the Batman comic books, all the Batman actors, that we've had look nothing like Bruce Wayne, and Ben Affleck actually does look like a real life Bruce Wayne. I actually look, for me, everyone's expectations are here, and this is where it's going to be. This is where my expectations are. I think he is going to be fantastic as Batman, and I think it comes down to the same thing that Ryan Reynolds was better at Deadpool because it was written well than he was as Green Lantern. Ben Affleck is getting a lot of shit because it was because of his Daredevil film, which was an awful film, it was, but it was just written badly, and he's getting a lot of shit for taking on a big role like Batman, because for Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool is new. It's kind of like there's no film footage of him anywhere. He is the Deadpool. You know, he is the only Deadpool that there is right now. He is the first Deadpool, so he's brand new. For Ben Affleck, he's taken on a role that countless actors have done perfectly for the most part, and it's just a little bit, it's a lot more daunting for him to come into another superhero film and play a character that is already so well established. And I think that's why they haven't gone back and done another origin story like this. To be completely honest, this film is the origin story for the Justice League. It's called The Dawn of Justice. It's the origin story for what's to come. And it's, as much as I am accepting of Ben Affleck as Batman, I think too much focus is going to be on whether he's good or not, compared to whether Superman's staying badass or not, which I think that, you know, if they can level it out right, it might work. I just think that Superman probably should have had more limelight before throwing him in with a brand new Batman. But again, that's just my opinion, so that's going to be a kind of like, it's going to be in the back of my mind when I watch it, is Superman getting the credit that he deserves. That being said, I do think Ben Affleck is going to be a fantastic Batman, and I know there's a lot of people that don't, so prepare to have your minds blown when he ends up being like perfect. So that's what my take is on the actual two main characters. Now we've also got Wonder Woman in there, and I think she's played by Gal Gadot. I think that's how you say her last name, Gal Gadot. And she's actually going to be a main character-ish. She's not going to have as much screen time as Batman or Superman, I don't think, but she's going to be there quite prominently, and we're going to be introduced to a couple more of the Justice League characters. Apparently, from an article I read, there's going to be a cameo of the Flash and a couple of other people that are going to be ultimately in the Justice League film. Now, I have a problem with the Flash being played by a different actor than the one in the TV show, because I think the guy that plays him in the TV show is fantastic. He is the perfect person to be playing the Flash, and he is, again, the only actor that has played the Flash, I think. You might want to check that up. I don't know if that's right or not, but I think, now I'm doubting myself, I can't remember, but I think he's the only actor that's ever played the Flash, and he does it so well, and everyone is used to him I can't remember his name for the life of me. Everyone's used to him playing the Flash, and now we're going to have another Flash. Now, I think it would have been a smarter move to take him out of the TV show and put him in the movie instead of establishing a new Flash. if they eventually have a Green Arrow in the Justice League, which I'm expecting them to, they should be using what's his name? Stephen Amell? Is it Stephen? I think it's Stephen Amell, the guy that plays Arrow in the Arrow TV show. Because again, he is well established. He is the Green Arrow, and again, I'm pretty sure he is the only person that has ever played the Green Arrow. And you know, them two together, they work well together. And Supergirl is being kind of intertwined into that TV show as well, and that TV show series is ultimately turning out to be like, if you look at the timeline of Arrow, you got season 1 and season 2. Season 3 is when you start watching season 3 or season 4? Season 4 is when you start watching season 1 of Arrow. No, of The Flash, sorry. And then season 2 is when you start watching season 1 of Supergirl. So it's all kind of intertwined. They are kind of like very well established characters in the DC universe now. I think it's a big shame that they didn't take the same actors and put them into the movies, because they're so used to playing these characters now in a TV show. It would have been far more easy to transfer them to The Flash or Green Arrow as in the film than it would be to just hire new people to do it. Now, I've seen the guy, again, I can't remember his name, that is going to be playing The Flash, and he looks like he could be The Flash, but for me, I'm very attached to the TV show. I think the TV show is fantastic. I think the guy that plays him is fantastic at playing him. So it baffles me that they didn't take him out of the TV show and put him into the movie world. That being said, I'm excited to see how everything kind of comes together. Like, at the end of the day, this film is the dawn of justice. It's not going to be a Justice League film. The ending boss is going to be Lex Luthor. At the end of the day, because it's called the Dawn of Justice, everyone's like, who will win, Batman or Superman? And the answer is obvious. None of them win, and none of them lose. They end up teaming up together to form the Justice League and defeat Lex Luthor. That's how the film's going to go. And I don't really understand how people haven't managed to get their heads around that yet, but that's how the film's going to go. Because if it didn't, then we can't have a Justice League without Batman or without Superman, so they have to come together at the end, and that's how I think that's going to go. That being said, I think the film, although the plotline in that respect is fairly obvious and easy to judge and very predictable, I think we have not, you know when you watch a trailer and you see the best bits of the trailer, so you don't actually have to watch the film because the rest of it's kind of like mediocre. I think DC have got a lot of tricks up their sleeve. I think we haven't seen the best parts yet, because in retrospect we haven't really seen all that much. We've seen kind of like introductions of the characters, and but there's been no footage of the fact that there's going to be cameos from other superheroes. So I personally think that we haven't even seen the best parts of the film, which is really exciting, because with a storyline like this, where it's called Batman vs Superman, but you know at the end that they're going to end up teaming together, you have to have some other kind of surprise. Otherwise the film would be a complete failure. Purely because the storyline, and I've read the comics, so I know that anyway, but anyone can figure out that if there's going to be a Justice League film after this, eventually Batman and Superman are going to have to team up to defeat the ultimate bad guy, in which in this case is Lex Luthor. So that story structure is very set. It's not difficult to figure out. That's just what's going to happen. But it's the bits in between that we haven't seen yet that are going to make this film what it is, because at the moment the trailers, all they're showing is Batman against Superman. That's all they're showing. They're not showing any of the fighting between them two and Lex Luthor, or them two and anyone else. And that's what I think is going to come as a big surprise to everyone, because if they haven't got another underlying story that is equally as exciting, then the film would fail. And at this point, DC can't afford to have a bad film that's got Batman and Superman's names, scrawled across the title. It just wouldn't go well for them at all, especially with Marvel being as successful as they are. If they want to bring back their rivalry, then they have to have something up their sleeve, which I personally think they do. I think that a lot of people are expecting it to be very kind of like dush, this happens, and that's the end of it. I think if that does happen, then I will be very disappointed, but I don't think it is going to happen that way. I personally think that DC have got some magic up their sleeve that we don't know about yet, and I'm super excited to see what that is, purely because of how easy the story, like the underlying story, is to figure out. So what's actually going to happen in between at the moment is a complete mystery, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it. I think the film's going to be fantastic. I'm super excited to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing an older Batman. Like I've said, I'm very accepting of the fact that Ben Affleck's playing Batman. I'm looking forward to seeing, because like in the trailer we have seen, you see that Bruce Wayne admits that he's getting old and he's not strong enough. It's not as strong as he used to be, and it's quite a thing for someone to say that when they've been established as Batman, even though no one knows that it's Bruce Wayne apart from like a handful of people. And I don't know, I just think there's a lot of questions about timeline with regards to the Dark Knight trilogy and Man of Steel. There's a lot of questions about what the actual mystery is going to be, seeing as the storyline is so easy to figure out, and it's a big thing for them to be doing this movie now, with Marvel coming to the end of their Avengers universe. It's a big thing for them to be starting this now, when Marvel have had so much success. So I have every faith because of that it's going to be a fantastic film. I have heard rumours that Ben Affleck's Batman is actually going to make an appearance in the Suicide Squad as well, but I'll talk about that in my TV talk for the Suicide Squad a few episodes down the line when it gets close to the time that film's coming out. I'm actually a lot more excited for that film than I am Batman vs Superman, and that says a lot because I'm so excited for Batman vs Superman. I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad more because that film is a complete unknown. No one really knows what's going to happen in that film. This is another first time on the big screen for a lot of them characters. I'm really excited to see what Margot Robbie's done with Harley Quinn. But as far as Batman vs Superman goes, does it have underlying issues? Yes. Am I hoping that they're actually going to be resolved? Yes. And there's not a lot of films you can say that for, because I think the problem that fans are having at the moment is just because they don't know what DC have got planned. I think that a lot of it is going to come to light when the film comes out at the end of the month, and I actually think it's going to be really, really good. I'm really excited for it. I actually bought a t-shirt for it to wear when I go and see it, which is going to apparently be my thing now. If there's a film I'm really excited about, I'm going to go and buy a t-shirt so I can wear it. I got a Batman vs Superman t-shirt that I really am happy that I bought, actually, because it's a very cool t-shirt. And yeah, I think a lot of people will be surprised. I think at the start, when this film gets released, it's not going to get the credit that it deserves. But as people see it and people tell other people about it and how good it is, it's going to go up and up and up. And that's the thing about a film like this. There's so much controversy around what the story is actually going to end up in, being, and whether both characters are going to be equally as important or not, plus all these extra characters that are going to be added in. That when the Justice League film eventually comes out, it's going to be a very crowded film, and I think it's good that they are introducing a few here, there and everywhere now. I remember actually Aquaman is going to get a little cameo, and then we're going to get all these films in between this one and the Justice League film where we kind of get the origins of each character that hasn't had a film yet, like Aquaman, and it's going to be good. I'm excited. My expectations are probably a lot higher than others, and I think people need to give the film more credit than they're giving it, because I personally think it's going to be fantastic. I think people just don't know what to expect, and that's completely fair. I'm in the same boat. I may have higher expectations, but I do still have the same doubt as a lot of people have. I don't know what to expect, and I think that's the problem a lot of people are having. But because I don't know what to expect, I am expecting DC to have pulled off some kind of like cinematic magic with this film, and I don't know, I think it's just going to be fantastic. I'm really super excited for it. So that's my thoughts on Batman vs Superman. I don't do reviews on this channel, it's not part of the format anymore, but I might do another topic video after I've gone to see it and just rant about it and rave about it probably. I don't know, there might be another Batman vs Superman video after I've gone to see it. But we'll have to wait and see. It depends if it's good or not, because if it's bad, I'm just going to go and hide in a hole and take back everything I've just said. But I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people, and I'm super hyped to see that. I'm also really excited to see people's reactions of it, to be honest. I think they're going to be quite amusing for people that have been doubting it, and it's going to end up being a masterpiece. Anyway, that's going to be it from me for this video. Film talk next week. I haven't decided on a topic yet. I'm going to see the new Divergent film. For me, it's going to be on Friday this week. By the time you see it, it would have been a week later. By the time you see this video, it would have been a week later, sorry. So I might do a video on that. The Divergent, I can never remember what it's called. Allegiant, however you say it. Allegiant, I think it's called. Divergent Allegiant. The third film in the Divergent series is coming out for me this week, and I'm going to go and see that. So I'll probably do a video on that next week. And I'm actually really excited to see that film as well, because I think the Divergent series has been fantastic. It's been very true to the books, and all the actors in it are fantastic, and it's just been a really good experience of a film series done well from a book adaptation, which is nice to see. So I'll probably do a video on that next week, but I'm not completely sure. Again, it depends how the film goes, and depends if anything else comes up in between. But yeah, that's going to be it from me for this video. If you've got any film topics you want me to talk about, then let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can do a video on them, or do a mashup of videos from like comment topics or something like that. I'll see what I can do, and let me know what you think of this video, and let me know what you think of the new channel format. So yeah, that's going to be it from me. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the videos that are coming out this week, and until the next time you hear from me, guys, as always, stay classy, gamers.